I don't know about you, but I am ready to escape this capitalist hellscape, right? Oh, goodness. Okay, so maybe that's a little dramatic, but sometimes not so much. I know if you were anything like me, the day to day, 9 to 5 grind, sitting in traffic, living the same day over and over again, groundhog craziness is not working for you. And if that's the case, I think I have some little golden nuggets for you in this video. Stick around. So, I'm Melissa, and this is Diary of an Authentic Life. I'm all about finding your authentic truth and living it loud and proud and living a life that you were born to live. So, here I am, the capitalist hellscape. So this is like really coming in strong today, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of a crazy message, but I'm just gonna speak it and let it come out. Um, Obviously, we live in capitalism. We're here, right? We have to pay our rent, we have to pay our bills. We don't have to, but if we want to live a comfortable life with running water and a refrigerator to keep our food cold and all of those things, there are bills involved, right? And there's got to be some sort of earning involved in that. Some people do it passively, some people, most of us, not so passively. Either way, there's got to be some earning involved to pay those bills, right? Unless you're living off a trust fund. If so, you're probably not someone who's watching this video. So here we are. There is that reality, and I think it's important to accept that that's the reality, because when we accept the present, then we can work within it. We can work with what we've got, right? But I fully believe, with my whole heart, I know this, that we come into this world with all of the resources we need to thrive. And we all come here with some sort of vision to create something. For some people, it's painting. For some people, it's music. For some people, it's writing. For some people, it's organizing and building, organizations and great things. Like, we all have our gift and our zone of genius, the thing that we do that just lights us up and gives us more energy instead of taking our energy. And that thing is enough. The issue is that we've been taught to believe that we have to play by these certain rules in order to have a comfortable life. And we all want to be comfortable, right? We all want to, like, roof over our heads and a decent car to drive, when it's got air conditioning, when it's hot outside, and heat when it's cold outside, And I've been without all of those things at different points in my life. So I say that like I understand what it means to have those things, and I don't take them for granted. But the thing is that we were born with our contribution to the world. And what happens is that we're in this school system, most of us in public education, or just the school system as it is, educational systems as they are, that train us to be obedient, to clock in, to clock out, to ask for permission to go to the bathroom, to eat gross, crappy processed food. And it's all about convenience, learning, working within the system. And that's kind of drilled into us throughout our lives. And we're taught that that's how to survive. That's how to not be punished. That's how to get approval from the people that take care of us. That's how to get people to like us. That's how to win favor in the world. Excuse me. So it just becomes our way of thinking, and we just accept it as the normal. But in reality, it's not normal at all. It's not how we were born to live. It wasn't until, gosh, I think it was Ford or something, that people like actually had watches on them, and people were like, the bell, like clocking in and clocking out, and the 5-day work week. And, it's all about the people at the top making the most money while the rest of us work our lives away, not living in our true zone of genius, living out our true existence of what our soul wants. And some people have come to acceptance about that, and they're totally fine with it. And if that's you, congratulations, you're amazing, good for you. For a lot of us, that is not the case. We got stuck in this trap, and we want out. And the thing is to get out, it just feels like it can feel impossible. And because the system is stacked against us. Not only that, but like when you are brave enough to step out of the norm, then even the people who love you will discourage you. Some people will be jealous because they're like, no, you can't do that, because if you do that, that means that I could do that, and I'm too scared to do that. So I'm just going to assume that you can't do that, and remind you that you can't do that. And some people, they're worried about us, and they're worried about our well-being, and they have genuine fear of like, oh God, what's going to happen to you? It's all going to fall apart. You're going to lose everything. What are you going to do? You can't do that, So I will say this in leading into this is that a lot of this work is solo work. Or if you're living with a partner and you can get them on board, great. If not, like, you got to start this with yourself and don't expect the whole world to get on board. It's not how it is. Everybody, I mean, not everybody, but most of us have been trained into this other type of life that we didn't really agree to when we were born. But the thing is we were born with our zone of genius. We were born with our gifts and talents. We can develop them. We can get more, of course. But we were born with what our soul wants to do. It may not be one thing. It could be multiple things. You could be multifaceted like myself. But we were born with what our soul wants to do and with all the resources to support that. So you got to start small. We can't tear the whole system down overnight. And golly, do I wish we could. But, I've spoken to this before, is that the way to create a new system is to create a new system. It's not to fight against the systems that be and try to change them and make them better. It's to create the life that you want to live, create the systems that you want to live under. And eventually it starves the other ones of air, right? If the less people that are participating and the less and less that are participating, then it's going to become obsolete. And we're all living in this other way where everyone thrives, where there's equal opportunity for everyone, where everyone has food to eat and a roof over their head. And, before anybody has 20 houses, everybody's got one, right? And no, I'm not like trying to teach socialism or anything like that. I'm just social consciousness, working together as community, as humans, as we're meant to, just as other animals do, working together to protect the whole, to work for the collective. So by living in your zone of genius, it's going to naturally do that. I don't know if you've read it. There's a book by Gay Hendricks called The Big Leap. Highly, highly recommend this book, because when we start to do this, we start to reach these thresholds of what we've agreed and what our nervous system has agreed to as like what we can handle. He describes it as like a thermometer, like what we can handle for a level of happiness and relief and peace and joy and all the good feelings that we will unintentionally self-sabotage as we start creating these new ways of being that give us freedom and joy and happiness and peace and all the things that we're looking for. So this book is great when you're going through these changes, because he also talks about time being malleable and just so many great things. I feel like that book is just, if you've been led to this message, then you'll likely get something out of that book as well. But he starts off talking about zone of genius, and the zone of genius is that thing that gives you energy, that gives you light, that life, that yes, you can be paid for it, but there is no end to how much you want to do it. You can just do it and do it. It lights you up. You are prolific at it. You come up with ideas. You feel amazing. It makes you want to wake up in the morning and so excited to live your life. Hold on a second. I got to let this cat out. He is being crazy. Hold on one second. Yeah, zone of genius. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, we can't redefine capitalism overnight, but we can start doing our part to create the life that we want to live, to create the world that we want to live in, to create the world that we want to leave for our descendants. And it's just one step at a time. And the first step to that would be start your day with your zone of genius. The first thing that you do in your day before you used up all of your energy with all these optimizing routines. And, if you do mindfulness when you first wake up, that's great. Do that. If you eat when you first wake up, that's great. Do that. I'm not discouraging any of that. I'm just saying, before we finish this list of the 20 million things we have to do before we can actually start our day, before we can actually get to that thing that we want to do, you'll never get to the thing that you want to do. Trust me. For about 11 years now, I've been wanting to do YouTube. I've been wanting to have a YouTube channel, different things. I'm going to add more and more to this. It really is meant to be a diary of my life here in Hawaii, my life as I travel, as I learn, as I grow, as I expand, and as these messages come through me. More than 10 years I've wanted to do this. But it was always like, first I have to do the work stuff, and first I have to do the other things, and I can't do it yet because I have to do this, this, and this. And every day it was like, I'm going to do YouTube. Once I do all my stuff this afternoon, I'm going to do YouTube. And then it just wouldn't happen because there's always so many things to do. So I've made a commitment that I'm going to start with 100 videos, but I'm like, I'm doing YouTube. It's my priority. It is my number one priority. It is speaking like this, letting source use me, letting source speak through me, connecting with community, sharing these ideas, sharing what I believe in, That is such a big passion for me. It's something that I love so much. So I'm prioritizing it. It's the first thing that I'm going to do. Maybe not the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, but it's the first thing that I'm going to do. Um, if you're a writer, first thing in the morning, clear your head, write it out on a page. It doesn't have to be good. Just start writing. Start doing that thing that you love to do, doing that thing that lights you up. And you may move around and be like, actually, I thought I love doing this thing, but now that I do it every day, this kind of isn't really my thing. And who knows, maybe you did it in third grade and somebody told you were really good at it. So then you decided that that was your thing. And then you do it and it's not your thing, but you never would have known that if you hadn't started doing it, right? So, how do we get around this? We build what we want to see, and we do it by doing what we came here to do and trusting that the resources are going to come with it. Because that's the thing, when you start using your voice, when you start showing up authentically, when you take the filters off and just really just show up, be willing to be cringe, be willing to make mistakes, be willing to not have it all together, be willing to improve and learn as you go along, the resources are going to come and meet you there. That's how it works. We are co-creators with the divine. We show up, the universe is going to respond to that. But we have to make the first move. And so if you want to escape this capitalist hellscape, sure, you could quit your job. You could go live in the woods. I've been tempted. I even tried. I did move to Hawaii like 18 and a half years ago with this idea that I would live off the land. I was so naive. I had no idea what I was getting into. Still no regrets, but it was not what I thought it was going to be. I'll just say that much. But, you can do that. If you want to go off the grid, go off the grid. If that's what makes your soul feel happy. But the real way to start living this life outside of these systems is to start living our lives outside of these systems, to prioritize rest. These systems are set up for convenience because they make money off convenience. It's built to keep us exhausted. It's built to keep us sitting in traffic. It's built to keep us working 5 days a week. It's built to keep us exhausted because when we're exhausted, we reach for convenience and we're willing to pay for it. But it's the cycle to where we're working harder to make more money so we can pay for more convenience. And then we work harder and then we pay for more convenience and we work harder and we pay for more convenience. But what if we could do what we love that contributes to the greater good of humanity and of the world and have all the money that we need to live and to thrive? What if? Because we've been trying it this one way for a really long time now. And it seems to be not working for a lot of people. I don't know what's going to happen over the next 4 years, few years, whatever. I can only guess. But we could get caught up in the doom, gloom, and despair of it. Or we can just, say, screw the system. I'm going to live the way I want to live. Am I telling you to quit your job and do everything? No, I'm not. I'm telling you to start adding in the things that are going to resist the system and to help you build the life you want to live. And you do that by adding rest. Rest is Resistance by Tricia Hersey. Check it out if you haven't. She's amazing. Her new book, We Will Rest, it's all about this, and it talks about how white supremacy has caused these systems and these hierarchical systems and imperialism and capitalism and all the things. She's amazing. Rest is resistance. Get you some rest. Stop paying for that convenience and get you some rest. And then you won't need the convenience because you'll be rested and you'll be clear and you'll be able to function better. How do I rest when my life is so busy and I have all these things and there's no room to rest? You prioritize it. You refuse to be a cog in the machine and you trust that you're going to be okay. Prioritize the rest. And you'll start seeing places in your life where you could rest more instead of scrolling because you're so burnt out and your brain's burnt out and you need a distraction, and the only way you can turn off your brain is to scroll on something else, but that's not actually turning off your brain. You're just getting caught in this comparison and being sold things to and all of that good stuff. So how about instead just stare out the window for 20 minutes? Go take a walk around the neighborhood. Look at some pretty trees. Go talk to some plants. Rest. Just lay on your bed and do nothing. Stare at the ceiling. Close your eyes. Go within. You can find ways to sneak in rest. And when you do, I promise, more ways are going to present themselves. Another is joy. The system has drained us of our joy because when we're in touch with, when we're rested and we're well fed and nourished and we're in touch with our joy and we're playing, then we naturally start to break free from the systems and live the way that we want to live. It's just a byproduct of it. So by prioritizing joy in your life, doing things that make you feel good, that make you happy, that make your body feel good, you're going to create space for more of that. You'll automatically, your brain, when you start looking at things and seeing joy in your life, then your brain is automatically going to start finding things. We have this confirmation bias, right? And whatever we believe is what we see. We only see, and this is proven, this is science, like only see 1% of the actual reality that's happening around us. We are only visually able to perceive 1%. So there's 99% of reality that we can't even see. But when your brain is biased to look for joy, to look for rest, to look for opportunity, then you start seeing those things instead of the exhaustion, instead of the not enoughness, instead of the stuck in the system, all of that. Like, you have to start training your brain, and you do that bit by bit, like one step at a time, just one thing. Play, my dear, my loves, play. Go have some fun. Play, ring around the rosies. Play, that was kind of morbid, but whatever. Duck, duck, goose. Go swing from some limbs. Go roll down a grassy hill. Go make some snow angels if you got some snow. Play. Put on a song and dance just randomly. Shaky, shaky. Daddy Yankee. Highly recommend that one. Shaky, shaky will get me like in the best mood. You can listen to it over and over again, and I have. Jerusalem. It's a really good one. There's lots of good ones, but just like Master KG sings Jerusalem, there's several versions, but go have some fun, get up and dance, do something fun, add some joy to your life. And that's the thing, is the system, this capitalistic system teaches us that success is about restriction. If I restrict this thing from my diet, if I restrict this thing from my day, if I regiment everything, and that's not how we do it. We add the things that we want, and we'll get more of the things that we want in return. It's that simple. So if we want to escape this capitalistic hellscape, it is possible, but we're the ones that have to do it. Nobody's coming to save us. Nobody's going to do it for us. We have to actually do this. We have to do the work. And the work is actually the not work. It's the things that we enjoy. It's so funny because I've always wanted to do ceramics. I did ceramics in high school. Not a natural at wheel throwing, but I'm kind of a natural at hand building and sculpting. And I love it. Love having my hands in the clay. And it's always just been like, when I retire, I'll do ceramics again. Or when I'm rich and I can build an art studio, then I'll do ceramics again. And, after the fires on Maui and things happened, work was slow. There was a lot of extra time. And finally I was just like, well, I've got this time. Why don't I just do ceramics now? So I looked at the college and found out about the ceramics classes, and they encouraged me to apply for financial aid. And since I had never used my FAFSA, because I went to massage therapy school after high school and didn't go to college, and I had never used my FAFSA. And it's actually pretty good right now. So I'm actually getting paid to go to school, and I chose liberal arts because that's what I want to do, right? So I'm literally taking art classes. Last semester, I took a lot of creative media classes to help me with video and all the different things. Yes, I will start to apply those things I learned, I promise. One thing at a time, my friends, one thing at a time. But I realized, this semester, I'm taking intro to watercolor, intro to drawing, ceramics. This is my intermediate ceramics because I took intro last semester, and acting, something I absolutely love. If I could design my dream day or life, that's what I'd be doing. Speaking to you, learning to making art, acting, performing, and making ceramics. And I'm getting paid to do it. It's amazing. So it's literally just with me saying, you know what, I'm gonna do ceramics. I want to do ceramics. I don't want to wait until I'm almost dead. I'm gonna do ceramics now. And then suddenly all these doors opened, and I got this financial aid, and I'm getting paid to take art classes. Y'all, I'm getting paid to take art classes. So I can tell you from experience, you just have to make room. One thing that would make your life look more like the life you want to live. Just start with one and see what happens. And give me a report. Tell me about it in the comments. I would love to hear from you all. Like, love, love, love to hear from you. Tell me about it. Does this mean something to you? I'm going to put right here, somewhere down here, a link to a video. It's going to be a meditation or a guided practice on taking that first step and reprogramming your brain on different beliefs and operating in a different way and creating the system and the society and the world that we want to live in. So check it out right there. Keep coming back, like, subscribe, all the things. I love you, and aloha.